Welcome back, second grade. Here we are with chapter 10. We have just learned about all the things that go into the cooking and the concocting of the witch's potion to make the mouse maker, to turn all the children of England into mice. And, what could we do next? We gotta get out of this ballroom. He has been stuck for a long time. He's lost his mice. He's now gonna be hunted by the Grand High Witch. How could things get any worse? Listen and find out. Chapter 10, Bruno Jenkins Disappears. The Grand High Witch was starting to talk again. "I'm now going to prove to you," she said, "that this recipe is working to perfection. You understand, of course, that you can set the alarm clock to go off at any time you like. It does not have to be 9 o'clock. So yesterday I am personally preparing a small quantity of the magic formula in order to give you a public demonstration. But I am making one small change in the recipe. Before I am roasting the alarm clock, I am setting it to go off, not at 9 o'clock the next morning, but at 3:30 the next afternoon, which means 3:30 this afternoon. And that," she said, glancing at her wristwatch, "is in precisely 7 minutes' time." The audience of witches was listening intently, sensing that something dramatic was about to happen. "So what am I doing yesterday with this magic liquid?" asked the Grand High Witch. "I will tell you what I'm doing. I'm putting 1 droplet of it into a very squishy chocolate bar, and I'm giving this bar to a repulsive, smelly little boy who's hanging around the lobby of this hotel." The Grand High Witch paused. The audience remained silent, waiting for her to go on. "I watched this repulsive little brute gobble up the squishy bar of chocolate, and then he had finished. I said to him, 'Was that good?' He said, 'It was great.' So I said to him, 'Would you like some more?' And he said, 'Yes.' So I said, 'I will give you 6 more chocolate bars like that if you will meet me in the ballroom of this hotel at 3:25 tomorrow afternoon.' 6 bars," cried this greedy little swine. "I'll be there. You bet I'll be there." "So the stage is set," shouted the Grand High Witch. "The proof is in the pudding is about to begin. Do not forget that before I am roasting the alarm clock yesterday, I am setting it for 3:30 today. Is it now? It is now." She glanced again at her watch. "It is now exactly 25 minutes past 3, and the nasty little stinker, who will be turning into a mouse in 5 minutes' time, should at this very moment be standing outside the doors." And by gum, she was absolutely right. The boy, whoever he might be, was already rattling the door handle and banging on the doors with his fist. "Quick!" shrieked the Grand High Witch. "Put on your wigs, put on your gloves, put on your shoes." There was a great rustle and bustle of putting on wigs and gloves and shoes, and I saw the Grand High Witch herself reach for her face mask and put it on over that revolting face of hers. It was astonishing how that mask transformed her. All of a sudden, she became once again a rather pretty young lady. "Let me in," came the boy's voice from behind the doors. "Where are those chocolate bars you promised me? I'm here to collect. Dish them out." "He's not only smelly, he's also greedy," said the Grand High Witch. "Remove the chains from the door and let him come in." The extraordinary thing about the mask was that its lips moved quite naturally when she spoke. You really couldn't see it was a mask at all. One of the witches leapt to her feet and unfastened the chains. She opened the 2 huge doors. Then I heard her saying, "Why, hello, little man. How lovely to see you. You have come for your chocolate bars, have you not? They are all ready for you. Do come in." A small boy wearing a white t-shirt and gray shorts and gym shoes entered the room. I recognized him at once. He was called Bruno Jenkins, and he was staying in the hotel with his parents. I didn't care for him. He was one of those boys who is always eating something whenever you meet him. Meet him in the hotel lobby, and he's stuffing sponge cake into his mouth.
Pass him in the corridor, and he is fishing potato crisps out of a bag by the fistful. Catch sight of him in the hotel garden, and he is wolfing a dairy milk bar and has 2 more sticking out of his trouser pocket. What's more, Bruno never stopped boasting about how his father made more money than my father, and that they owned 3 cars. But worse than that, yesterday morning I had found him kneeling on the flagstones of the hotel terrace with a magnifying glass in his hand. There was a column of ants marching across one of the flagstones, and Bruno Jenkins was focusing the sun through his magnifying glass and roasting the ants one by one. "I like watching them burn," he said. "That's horrible," I cried. "Stop doing it." "Let's see you stop me," he said. At that point, I had pushed him with all my might, and he had crashed sideways onto the flagstones. His magnifying glass had splintered into many pieces, and he had leapt up shrieking, "My father's going to get you for this." Then he had run off, presumably to find his wealthy dad. That was the last time I had seen Bruno Jenkins until now. I doubted very much that he was about to be turned into a mouse, although I must confess that I was secretly hoping it might happen. Either way, I didn't envy him being up there in front of all those witches.
Bruno Jenkins? So the next step in this whole process for this ballroom full of witches is to do a live demonstration on how this stuff works. She's got it ready for 3 p.m. today, and there's a boy who's coming to get this chocolate. And now we have identified this boy. Our character knows him, and Mr. Roald Dahl has kind of written this boy out to be not the nicest of kids. He seems kind of rude. He's always talking about his dad having way more money, and we've got this little story about him harming animals and ants with the magnifying glass, and we now have our brave character who we've established is such a great guy that he stands up for even the smallest of characters, even small ants. He will stand up for them and fight for their existence and a better life. So that's good for him. Things are not going to be so good for this Bruno Jenkins, who is very greedy. He wants to have all that chocolate gobbled up. This makes me think of characters that were in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We've got greedy, bratty types of children who want, take. And that's a theme that Mr. Roald Dahl writes about in many of his books. But again, our main character, he is true, he is pure, and he is out to do the right thing. So, he's got to succeed. He can't get destroyed by these witches. He's got to come through in the end, right? Part 2, next episode. Tune in and find out.